It's Time Warner Cable's local edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are joined by Jeff Prang. He is manager for public affairs for the Los Angeles County Assessor's Office, also a council member in West Hollywood. And so I'd like to speak with you about the Assessor's Office and about the past year, which had to have been kind of an odd year with the economy coming back, with real estate prices starting to creep up again. So talk to us about how the assessor dealt with the improving economy.
Well, the Assessor's Office just released its annual assessment roll.
Please.
The county grew. Its assessed value, meaning how much the county is worth, grew by 5.5% over the last year. And that is the fourth year of consecutive increases in property value. And each year, the increases have been getting larger. So it's a very strong economic indicator.
Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because part of the problem during the recession is that they were upside down. So if you start buying homes at an increased value, then all of a sudden there's a dip again.
Well, for the most part, properties are recovering the value that they lost starting in 2008 with the recession. One of the rare exceptions is the northern part of the county where the recovery is still slower. Although there are no properties losing value anymore, they're all on the increase or stabilized. But we still have about 340,000 properties in LA County that are less than their Proposition 13 base value.
So that means that individuals can seek through what's known as Proposition 8 a revaluation.
It's a reduction in their value and thus their property taxes. And we do that automatically. So these 340,000 properties, they're all realizing a reduction in property taxes because their home has lost value from the point of purchase. But other places like San Gabriel Valley, places like the West Side, the values are almost recovered to the point of where they were before the recession.
But what happens, sir, if someone received that decrease in value and now the value's increasing?
So this is important. When you buy a house under Prop 13 and you get a base year, your property will never increase more than 2% a year under that base year. But if your property loses value under Proposition 8, we'll lower it to whatever the market value is. And we will restore it back up to the Prop 13 base. We'll look at it every single year.
Could you restore it in 1 year?
It can be restored in a single year. If your property, for example, if your property lost 50% of value in 1 year and then regained it the next year, the first year your property taxes would reduce by 50%. Next year they'd increase by that same amount.
Is that happening in LA County? I mean, it could be happening in the Inland Empire, I presume.
In LA County, it's not increasing that dramatically. They're increasing, but a little bit more slowly. There are a number of properties which have been fully restored to their Prop 13 basis from the recession. But what this does mean for the county, it's a good, strong economic indicator that the real estate market is recovering. People are investing, they're buying, and it's good for homeowners who lost value.
Right.
And it's actually good for government because that means that there's more revenues being generated in property taxes to pay for services.
What about the work of the staff of the office? I have to think this would be a year where a lot of calls are coming in, a lot of people are going to the counter, they're confused. I mean, I worked with someone on your staff, as you know, because I bought a home and it was in the middle of the year and I was getting all these different bills and I was confused. We do a lot of work, and sometimes it's complicated. The first thing to remember is the assessor is not the tax collector. You don't pay your tax bills to the assessor. You pay that to the tax collector, who's a different person in a different department. But what people may or may not know is that every single year, the men and women of the assessor's office, the appraisers, value 2.6 million parcels of property in LA County at a value of $1.3 trillion. And I understand last cycle, your office took almost 300,000 calls, 65,000 visits to the counter. Busy office. He is Jeff Prang. He works for the Los Angeles County Assessor's Office, council member in West Hollywood. I'm Brad Pomerance. It's Time Warner Cable's local edition.